Please help my mama. He's hurting her. The billionaire is beating my mama. No one ever imagined that a trembling 9-year-old boy, barefoot and covered in dust, would stop a convoy of bikers on a stormy afternoon. No one imagined that what began as a cry for help would unravel a secret that had been buried beneath money, power, and polished lies for years. And certainly, no one imagined who that billionaire really was. It was just after 5 p.m. in the small industrial town of Graywood. The air smelled of gasoline, rain, and distant thunder. A group of bikers, known around the area not for trouble, but for helping those who couldn't help themselves, had just left their usual coffee shop. Their engines roared as they headed down Fifth Avenue. Then out of nowhere, a small figure darted into the street. "Stop!" yelled one of the bikers, slamming the brakes as the others swerved. There, standing in the middle of the road, was a little boy. Mud streaked his face. Tears streaked down his cheeks. His left knee was bleeding, and in his hand, he clutched something tightly. A torn piece of uniform. He didn't say hello. He didn't say sorry. He screamed, "Please help my mama. The man in the big house. He's beating her." His name was Eli, the 9-year-old son of a woman named Maria, a janitor who worked at the towering estate of Gregory Vance, a billionaire industrialist known for his clean suits, flashy charity galas, and carefully curated public image. Maria was quiet. She cleaned the marble floors, polished silver, and rarely spoke. Most people in Graywood knew her as the woman who always wore the same green scarf. Eli, though, knew a different side of her, the side that tucked him in at night, humming songs from her village, the side that worked late into the night just so he could eat. And now she was in danger. The bikers weren't the kind of men people expected to play heroes. Tattoos inked up their arms, leather jackets, rough voices. But Royce, their leader, a tall, broad-shouldered man with graying hair and a scar across his jaw, had seen fear before. He had been that boy once, standing in the rain, begging someone to help. He knelt down in front of Eli. "Who's hurting your mama?" Eli's lips trembled. "Mr. Vance, the man she cleans for." He locked the door. "I saw through the window he's hitting her." The bikers exchanged looks. Everyone in town knew Gregory Vance, but no one ever challenged him. Royce rose slowly. "Show us the house." The Vance mansion stood like a monster at the edge of Graywood. Iron gates, security cameras, walls high enough to keep secrets in. Eli led the bikers through a hidden path, one he'd found while playing in the woods. The rain had started now, soft at first, then heavier. Through a cracked window on the east wing, they saw her, Maria, bruised, slumped on the ground, and in front of her, Gregory Vance. His expensive white shirt was splattered with wine, his face twisted with rage. He wasn't just yelling, he was enjoying it. "You think you can walk away from me?" he spat. "You're nothing. You clean my floors. You breathe because I allow it." The bikers couldn't just storm a house. The billionaire had guards, cameras, lawyers, power. But Royce knew something Gregory didn't. Power means nothing when truth bleeds out into the streets. They split into 2 teams. One group would cut the power. Another would get Eli to safety. Royce would get Maria out. As the thunder rolled above, Royce looked at Eli and said, "We don't run from monsters, kid. We expose them." The mansion lights flickered and died. Security scrambled. The guard were well-trained, but not prepared for the darkness. Royce and 2 others slipped through the servants' entrance. Inside, the smell of expensive perfume and blood mingled. "Maria," Royce hissed. She looked up, dazed but alive. Vance had left the room, probably to get something worse than words. They grabbed Maria, supporting her bruised body. Her hand gripped Royce's sleeve, her eyes wide with terror. "He'll kill us all," she whispered. "Not tonight," Royce said. Footsteps echoed down the marble hall. Gregory Vance appeared at the top of the staircase. His tie was gone, his shirt stained, his eyes glinting like a predator. "Put her down," he said coldly. "Do you have any idea who I am?" Royce stepped forward. "Yeah, the man who's about to lose everything." Vance laughed. "Lose? You're nobodies. I own this town. I own the police. No one will believe a janitor or a bunch of criminals on bikes. He wasn't wrong. Gregory Vance had money. He had friends and suits. But he didn't have what was about to hit him next. While Royce confronted Vance, one of the bikers, Maya, a woman with a sharp mind and a past in IT, was already working outside. She'd hacked into the mansion's internal security feed. Every slap, every kick, every insult, every word. It was all recorded. She streamed it live, first to the biker network, then to the town forum, then to the national page. Within minutes, thousands of people were watching Gregory Vance in real time. Maria tried to stand but stumbled. Eli, hiding behind a biker's truck outside, screamed, "Mama!" Vance turned his head sharply. That moment of distraction was all Royce needed. A sharp right hook, then another. The billionaire fell hard, the sound echoing through the marble hall. But Royce didn't beat him further. He didn't have to. The world was already watching. You could hear them before you saw them. Sirens. A storm of red and blue cutting through the night. Someone no one knows who had tipped off the feds. Maybe it was Maya. Maybe it was someone watching the live feed. But the gates that once kept people out were now wide open. And the monster of Graywood stood in handcuffs. Maria was taken to the hospital. Broken ribs, bruises, but alive. Eli clung to her hand as she whispered, "It's over now, baby." But it wasn't just over for them. The video had gone viral. News stations camped outside the mansion. Whistleblowers came forward. Gregory Vance's carefully built empire began to crumble. The bikers didn't ask for credit. They didn't give interviews. They just left, engines rumbling softly, disappearing into the night. Weeks later, Royce received a letter. "I don't know how to thank you. You didn't just save me. You saved my son. I can't give you what Vance had, but I can give you something real, my gratitude. Maria." Inside the envelope was a photo of Eli smiling, for the first time without fear in his eyes. Graywood was no longer the same. For years, Vance had used money to bury pain, to silence the weak. But one little boy's courage and a group of bikers' refusal to look away changed everything. People whispered less and spoke more. They stood up when someone was hurt. And the story of the janitor's boy who stopped a billionaire became legend. On the anniversary of that night, Roy stood on a hill overlooking the Vance estate, now empty for clothes, covered in vines. He lit a cigarette, let the smoke drift into cool air, and whispered, "Some monsters wear suits, but they all fall the same." The engines roared behind him as his crew rolled up, and like they always did, they disappeared into the night. No medals, no speeches. Just the quiet satisfaction of justice delivered. This story isn't just about a billionaire or a biker. It's about a boy who refused to stay silent, a mother who survived, and a community that decided enough was enough. Because sometimes heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they wear leather jackets. Sometimes they ride in the rain.